last time we talked about elements in relation to each other. I didn't quite close up that conversation, but yeah, we talked about how earth and air were opposites of each other, and depending on it's also situational, I would say. If air was trapped inside the earth in a cave or underground or whatever, then it would be bursting to get out, right? Because air is earth is the habit of earth is to be stable and to reduce or whatever. Like there's not a lot of motion in earth, in solid matter. But gas and air, it wants to spread out. It wants to scatter by nature. So these two are actually very similar to extroverted intuition and introverted sensing. One being more grounded and one being the opposite. So I'm not sure how. First of all, I don't have the qualifications to be talking about this psychology stuff yet, but I will be doing something in the next few months to, get some credibility after. I'm obsessed with this stuff, so might as well. Now, but the elements, I would really love to say. The elements. That was bad. I wish I could edit that out, but yeah. We also talked about elements that cancel each other out and elements that do well with each other, complementary stuff like, so fire and water, they cancel each other out, which leaves earth and air to limit each other and, technically, air can cut earth if it's strong enough, but it rarely happens, I think. Then that's how you get cliffs. Cliffs without the water. Water cuts earth, that's very obvious, but air can do that as well. Now, what else is good? We're only talking about the four basic elements. We're not gonna get into lightning and wood and stuff like that. Or metal. But yeah, if I were to give a cognitive function per element, not an element per cognitive function, but if I were to give a cognitive function to an element, I would have to, for fire, I would have to give, again, I think, I think you should give feeling to fire because they both start with F. That's one reason. Also because, emotional people are impulsive and all that, Fire and feeling, I think, would go together. But I have seen in a Tumblr blog, they had given extroverted sensing to fire. So I think SI is very earth, but SE, technically I guess that could be fire or even water, because fire and water in my perspective are equally volatile. But I think whatever the cognitive function, it's also fair to say that so the cognitive functions together, they form something called the animals. I would be, as an ENTP, I would be either consume lead or play lead. It's either consume, play, sleep, and blast, or play, consume, blast, and sleep. But depending on which of my middle functions I push on and which of my middle functions so the TI, All right, so as an ENTP, I have NE on top, and then two deciders in the middle, TI and FE. TI is a little stronger than FE, but those two, you can, at some point in your life, it's easy to mix those two up, and you feel smart about doing it. And therefore, when your FE is closer to NE, you become play. That is like, that it's a whole thing. Like you gotta look it up. But I'm not sure even I understand it. It's just I've been looking at stuff on YouTube, and you don't know how reliable these things are. But it makes a lot of sense. Like you see other people doing this, and so my faith in this stuff, in this spiritual, in this motivational crap stuff, my faith in this isn't just from the books or anything. It's actually because it's very believable, because this shit is like, I've seen it in other people. And like I've sat down. I know I'm an ENTP because I've been making conspiracy theories since I was a kid. I was like, oh my god, guys, I'm a vampire. And my friends would be like, what do you mean? Well, my skin's a little pale. I got like really sharp teeth. I like the taste of blood, my own blood, when I bite on my nails, and I hate garlic. So because of these 4 things, I must be a vampire. And they were like, those 4 things are just random. They are not connected to, well, obviously, like I was a kid, and I was so desperate to be either a werewolf or a vampire. Oh yeah, that's right. I was actually disappointed to be a vampire because I wanted to be a werewolf. And yeah, those 4 things were not as connected to each other. That was bad logic. But see, it's like I've always drawn things from around and been like, okay, so this is there, and like, recently a colleague of mine said that I would jump around a lot. I would, hop from subject to subject. I would, so there's the sun. Say hi to the sun. It's pretty early right now, pretty cold, and I just have a shower. So the 4 cognitive functions. NE is obviously like, it's getting ideas from around, and I've been doing that. So there's a lot of proof that that was something that I've done. That's not something I'm making up. I know that much. And then Barney Stinson, a lot of what Barney Stinson is doing in the show, scripted, and sometimes badly scripted, because, at first you start to think that, oh, he's a privileged guy. He's like, he's never had to work a day in his life. And then you realize, oh, he was brought up by a single mother. There's a lot of crap there, which he's also very connected to Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and he's not just a character. Barney Stinson is not just a random character. He's very connected to, you could draw parallels between him and Chandler, but you could argue that he's more Joey from Friends, which, this is terrible. What I'm saying has no connection at all, no basis at all. I'm using evidence from Friends and How I Met Your Mother. And the cable guy. So Joaquin Phoenix Joker, cable guy, and Barney Stinson, they actually have some things in common, not everything, but things that are very, very, very unique things that they have in common. Those similarities that they have, they're very strange and very, can't put my finger on it. Astute, is that what I'm trying to say? Or in my language, we have this thing called sukshama, that's as fine, very fine-tuned character traits, I would say, about the cable guy. And the woman who plays Joaquin Phoenix's mother in The Joker, Arthur Fleck's mother in The Joker, same person as Barney Stinson's mom. And they don't have a dad, and they spend a lot of time watching TV. So these neglected children from the 90s, I would say. Anyways, so I made a video. It went all over the place. I'm losing that SI track. See, so the purpose of this video then is so that you can analyze the content by comparing it to my other ones that I've done recently, and then ones that I've done a long time ago, to see how it changes, like how much power the NE would have over the SI, or how much control you could have if you manage to keep that SI going. So yeah, that's basically what it is.